Hello, my name is Ted Gambordella, and I'm turning 65 on February 22nd, 2013, and I will have done 6 million sit-ups. And just for fun right now, I'm going to watch a little TV and do 1,000 sit-ups for you, just so you know how easy it is for me to do all these sit-ups and you don't question my validity. So let's just get started. I'll try and count with my fingers and update you every time I've done 100, or you can sort of count along too if you like. I use a ab rocker machine because it's much better for your back and your neck, and it isolates your stomach a lot more than if you just do, don't ever lay flat on the ground and just lift my feet up, you know, like a traditional sit-up. Those are not good for your stomach. They tend to hurt your neck and your shoulders and really don't do a lot for your stomach at all. So I'm trying to do ab crunchers. What I'll do here today is do sets of 100 in 5 different ways, 6 different ways, and in between a lot of the sets I'll do 50 to 100 leg lifts because that works the lower stomach. Now I haven't done 6 million leg lifts because I don't need them as much, but I have done 6 million sit-ups. And if you were to ask me how I did it, well, I started when I was about 16, 17 years old, taking karate, and when I started doing that and lifting weights and quote-unquote bodybuilding, I used to get hit in the stomach a lot. And I wanted to look good, and to be able to get hit in the stomach, I had to do a lot of sit-ups. So every day I would do 300 to 400 sit-ups, and I would do them in groups of 100 or 200 at a time or 300 at a time, and you know, just build up by strength and endurance that way. And I did that 300 to 350 to 400 sit-ups every day of my life for 40 years, and made 5 million sit-ups when I turned 60 years old. Well, after I turned 60, I wanted to make it to 6 million by the time I turned 65, so I upped my daily routine from 350, 400 sit-ups a day to 500 to 600 sit-ups a day. And so in the last 5 years, I will have done 1 million sit-ups. I did 90% of them, I'd say, at the Lifetime Fitness Club here in Dallas, and I did probably a couple 100,000 or more at my house because I tend to watch them and do them while I'm watching TV, or even when I'm sitting in a chair, or even while I'm exercising upstairs. Now I've sort of lost count. I'm going to do about 30 more here, and we're pretty sure we'll have done 100 in this group. And then I'll do a couple leg lifts and switch over to another form of my crutches. So let's count here. We got about 20 more to go. And you can see it's pretty easy for me to do it. And you know, the nice thing is this, it's pretty easy for you to do it too once you get started doing sit-ups on a regular basis, and especially if you use a ab rocker or an ab machine like this. So there's 100. Now I'll intertwine those, or in between the sets I'll do some leg lifts, and this is really good for your back, and it's really good for your lower abs. If you don't do leg lifts, you don't get the bottom or the part of your abs down there below your navel looking good. And as I do these, I'll be changing it up a little bit, doing some different type of ab exercises, or lower ab or leg lift exercises too. And I always put my hands behind my head or under my butt when I do my abs. You don't just want to leave your hands just hanging out to the side or something, because that hurts your neck again. And we want to work and isolate our stomach, not work our neck or hurt our shoulders. So there's about 50 abs. Now I'm going to do 100 where I'm leaning on my left side. And what I'm trying to do this time is to keep a sort of a count for you. If you watch my fingers here, every time I've done 10, I'll put a finger up. So that was 10. And I'll use that same hand, and every time I do 10, so that'll make it like 20. And then I'm not going to talk the entire 20 minutes it's going to take me to do this 500 to 1,000 sit-ups. So I'm just going to watch a little TV and relax, because I can tell you, if you want to do your sit-ups and make it, comfortable, don't make it where you have to just do sit-ups out of the ordinary and make it a specific thing. Do it while you're watching television. So I'm actually watching golf here, and I'm doing sit-ups while I watch golf. So that's 50. And I count backwards with my finger, that'll be 60. Now, a lot of people who, when I tell them I've done so many sit-ups, will say stuff like, well, you're not supposed to do so many sit-ups, that's bad for your stomach. And I always ask them, well, show me a picture of your stomach 10 years ago, and show me a picture of your stomach when you're 40, 50, 60. And of course they can't do it because they've only just had that brilliant synopsis or idea in the last 5 or 10 years that they've been fit, or maybe 1 year they've been fit. Too many people seem to think it's a clever idea to take their exercise fitness routines from someone who used to be fat and has somehow miraculously managed to lose 100 to 200 pounds and now is a quote-unquote fitness expert. And yet within another 6 months they'll be fat again. Now, I hope they don't get fat again, but the fact that you lost 100 pounds doesn't make you a fitness expert. It makes you smart, but it doesn't make you a fitness expert. And that's not the people that you want to look to for clever advice on how do I lose my gut and keep it off. I mean, Oprah knows because she's lost 50 to 100 pounds 40 or 50 times in her life. And Kirstie Alley certainly knows because she's done it a dozen times too. I'm just joking, you know, I'm just bringing out a little point here. It's more intelligent to take your sit-up and exercise advice from someone who's been doing it their whole life and who knows what they're talking about from personal experience. So when we get through with this set, we'll have done 300 sit-ups. Now we're 50 here, so you'll see me counting with my fingers again. Now, a lot of times I will just do sit-ups or crunches flat on the ground and not use the machine, so you can do it that way too. You don't have to use an ab rocker, although they don't cost a lot of money, $20, $30, $40. And if you have something to do with your eyes and your ears while you're doing your sit-ups, you'll tend to do a lot more than if you're just, oh, I'm just going to do some sit-ups, because you won't do as many if you're just doing sit-ups and not watching TV or something. All right, so that's another 100. So let's go back here and we'll do 50 leg lifts. And we're keeping our knees up real high here and going out really far here to really work our lower abs. I don't know how long we've been doing. I think we've been doing about 6 or 7 minutes here. It takes me about a second to do a sit-up, so it would take me 120 seconds. I mean 100 seconds to do 100, and give or take, 5 or 10 seconds each side, so it take 2 minutes to do the 100 sit-ups. So if I'm doing 500 sit-ups, it only takes me 10 minutes. And it'll take me, I usually work out minimum 15 to 20 minutes doing it, because I also want to do a couple hundred leg lifts too. So I don't just do a 10-minute sit-up routine to do 500 or 600. I will put my leg lifts in between, and it takes me about a second and a quarter, second and a half to do the leg lift. So I'll do 200 or 300 sit-ups, or 200 or 300 leg lifts too, while I'm doing my sit-ups. And that tends to refresh you too. So now we're going to do another 100 sit-ups here with our legs all the way up. We're going to rock them back. And again, sometimes when I do my stuff, or I tell people I'm 65 years old and I've done so many sit-ups, they always say, well, you're lucky you got good genes. Well, I always like to say, well, I got nice shirts too, but that has very little to do with why I look the way I do. My brother, I have 2 brothers, one of them died when he was 63 from bad health, heart complications, a lot of medical problems. My other brother is 1 year younger than me, needs a shoulder replacement, hip replacement, and knee replacements. So my father died at 60 years old too, so if I have good genes, my mother lived to be 83, and I'm also helping them a lot by exercising and working out every day. And so yeah, I got nice genes, but you should have seen before I cleaned them up. So as you'll notice here, it's not hard to do. For all you folks that are thinking, well, I would like to get a nice flat abs like Ted, well, just do some sit-ups. Get you an ab rocker, or do them flat on the floor, and do your crunches. Remember, I don't do flat sit-ups. I tend to do crunches here, which makes it a lot better and more effective for your stomach, because you're isolating your stomach. And as you can see, it's going pretty fast. Why is it going pretty fast? Because I'm doing one a second. Or maybe even more than one a second. Now, that should be another 100. So now I'm going to do now we've done 500 sit-ups. So now we're going to 400 sit-ups. Now we're going to do 100 with pulling in my right leg and then 100 pulling in my left leg. And this tends to isolate your obliques and the side of your stomach too. So it's really good for you and real easy to do. And all these things, if you do them a lot, it becomes more second nature to you. As you can tell by my voice, I'm not straining. I'm very relaxed while I'm doing them, and I'm still getting a really good workout. It'll get my heart pumping, and it'll definitely tighten your stomach, and that's what it's all about. So that's 50. We're going to do another 50 here. And when do you do your sit-ups? I tend to like to do mine when I'm doing my exercise program. I very seldom do them early in the morning. I'm not a morning exercise person. I do my computer and my writing and stuff like that in the morning. I tend to do my exercise in the evenings, around 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. And I do that because that gets your metabolism pumped up really good, so you're burning your fat more at night. If you do your sit-ups and leg lifts or you work out really in the morning, you burn your fat all day long, but you're pretty tired when it comes to be nighttime. And so I tend to do it at night, and I burn my fat all night while I'm sleeping. So you can actually burn the fat while you're sleeping. So there's another 100. So now we're going to do 100 pulling our left leg up. And you can really feel this because you can really concentrate it on your sides here and really feel that muscle group pulling in here. So if you're counting along with me at home, you really know how to count, because we'll have done 600 after this set here. And after this set, there's another 10. After this set, we're going to change our leg lifts up for you, so you're going to see a little different type of leg lift. Now, I've been doing this. I used to, when I first started lifting, way back when I was 18, 19 years old, I used to do a lot of sit-ups on an incline, where you incline up here 45 degrees and stuff like that. Well, that was to build my muscles in my stomach. And I've learned subsequently that you don't want to use that incline. It'll make your stomach strong, but it'll make it bigger too. So when you're little and you weigh, I weighed 145 pounds when I was 18 years old. You want to have a strong stomach, because I used to take punches and stuff. But you also want to burn it off. So as you get older, when you get a much flabbier, weaker stomach. So you want to make sure that you don't use the inclines. You want to make sure you do them nice and flat on the ground, so you can burn the muscles, the fat right off of your abdomen. Burn the fat right off of your abdomen. So we got another 30 to do here, and we'll have done 600 sit-ups for you. And then we're going to do 100 leg lifts in a little different manner here, and you'll enjoy those. Another 10 more here. Okay, that's 600. Now we're going to put our hands under our behind, and we're going to do leg lifts. You can't hardly see, but I'm coming up about 30, 40 degrees here. And we're going to do 100 of those. Now what I like to do when I'm doing 100 or something, I'm counting, is I like to count backwards. If you count forward, so that's 9. Start with 10, 9. If you count forward, you sound like I'm doing too many, I'm almost done 100. But if you count backwards, I only have 10 left to do, 20 left to do. So now we're at 10, 9, now we're going to 8. So you see what I'm following here? When I'm doing 10, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, now we're at 7. See what I'm talking about by counting backwards? It tends to make it a lot easier on you than counting forward. 6. Now leg lifts, you can't do as many leg lifts as you do sit-ups. And now we're at 5. Because your legs weigh so much. My legs are not that big, they're real strong, but they're not that big, but they weigh a lot. So a lot of you folks that are doing these leg lifts, you'll find you can't do very many of them because your legs are heavy. And my upper body's heavy, but it's just a different, I'm using 4 stomach muscle groups when I do my upper body, upper sit-ups, upper crunches, and I'm only using 1 real muscle group in the front of my quadriceps, I think that's what you call it, when I'm doing my leg lifts. So I got another 20 to do here when I've done 100 leg lifts. And one more thing, if you're doing your leg lifts, I don't want to wear shoes. If you wear shoes, you tend to get really tired very fast, because those 2 shoes might weigh a pound each, so that's 2 pounds, and you're doing 100 of them, you've picked up 200 pounds, and that's a lot to pick up. Alright, so there's 100. Now we're going to stretch one of our legs out and do 100 sit-ups. And it looks like we've done about 15 minutes or so right here. Now I know that most of y'all are not going to do this many. So what you want to start with, do 5 minutes at a time. And think about it, if you did 5 minutes of sit-ups, 1 a second, you did 300 sit-ups. That's a lot. I don't expect you to do that many, so just do, 1 minute, then do your leg lifts or relax a little bit, a minute, and then do your other rest for another minute and do some more sit-ups. And so that's 40. That's 50. And each one of these groups, you see me working different, you can feel it pulling on your muscles a lot different. So you're really getting a good sit-up routine here as you're working different parts of your muscles. So now that's 60. So we're going to count backwards forward now, But remember that little secret I told you about counting backwards? It makes it a lot easier because your mind is about half of the things you need to do to be a good exercise or to be in good shape, because your mind is what makes you do it. Mind is what tells you to go ahead and get up and do your exercises. It tells you to go ahead and go to the next step. It tells you to lift it again, to do it again. If you're just relying upon feeling positive to do it, you're not getting nothing done. You have to be obsessed with health. You have to be obsessed with being fit, and you have to be obsessed with taking care of yourself, taking care of your mind and your body and your spirit. And I want to mention I'm a good Christian person. I think it's important that you have faith in God and that you go to church. But I'm not getting into a religious discussion here. I just wanted to tell you that. So another 20 here, and now we'll have done 800, right? So we have another 200, and we'll have done 1,000, I think. And just in case we haven't, we'll do another 300. Okay, now we're putting the other leg out, and I'm going to do 100 here. And looking at my clock, I wish I'd have timed myself when I started here. But I'll be able to tell you exactly, we'll look at the clock, how long this tape is, and you'll be able to tell how many sit-ups I did and leg lifts, because I average 1 a second, and throw out 5 or 10 seconds on each minute, each couple of minutes for changing positions and stuff. And so if we do it for 20 minutes here, 30 minutes, we're going to do 1,000 pretty easily. And I just want to mention something. I just came back from working out. I did 600 at the health club. So I've already done 600 today, and now I'm doing 1,000 for you. So that'll be 1,600 I did today. And you can do the same thing. Isn't that something? So let's do another 30 more. We'll make sure we got 100 here. Oh, 10 more. Now that should be 900. Okay, now we're going to do another 100 here. This is 1,000, but now we're lifting the machine off the ground. And these are a lot slower, because I'm really tightening up that crunch. Yeah, I'm tightening up that crunch here, really pushing. And you can see, if you can see the back of the machine, I'm actually lifting it off the ground because I'm tightening up the crunch so much here. And that's 20, so we got 80 more to do. And this is a lot harder than just rocking the machine up and lifting it all the way off the ground. You know, I sure hope this thing is recording. That's okay. Now I want to mention that I've written 42 books and done almost 1,000 videos on YouTube and done 38, 40 DVDs and stuff. And if you're in good health, or you're a teacher, or you're teaching martial arts or karate, or you're teaching school or music or anything, I want to encourage you to write a book and do a video. You know, you need to leave something when you're gone. It doesn't take, just put a video in front of you and talk. Teach your class. That's how easy it is to make a DVD. You don't have to complicate this stuff. And write a book. Just take pictures and explain what you're doing in the pictures. You don't have to be a great writer. Pay somebody to proofread it if you have poor grammar, and which we all do, and have somebody proofread it and help you with that. And write a book and do a video. And there's a company called CreateSpace.com. CreateSpace.com. It's owned by Amazon. It will publish your book for you for free. You don't have to pay them 1 penny. Don't look at all these guys out there that want to charge you $500,000, $2,000 to publish your book. You don't cost a penny with it. CreateSpace. And also, you can buy one book at a time, and they'll put it in Amazon. They'll put it in the Barnes & Noble. They'll put it on bookstores. They'll put it on Kindle for free. So if you're a teacher, whether you're teaching piano or golf or tennis or karate or weightlifting, write a book and do a video. Something you can leave for your children and pass down for generation to generation. So we got another 30 here to do. And these are the harder ones. So we're going to finish up with a couple leg lifts, and then just in case I only did 900 instead of 1,000, but I think I've done 1,000, we're going to finish up with one more regular 100 sit-ups. So we'll make sure we've done 1,000. And I'm going to show you one last routine here. Okay, now we're going to relax our upper abs here by doing a couple leg thrusts here. And, you know, I also want to mention out, you know, don't be a victim of the fads and telemarketing. You see all these people doing the crazy dancing, the Spanish dancing, the Zumba dancing, the jazz exercise. No, that's great stuff. That's great exercise. It'll help you lose weight. But that's not how those people got those big arms and those big shoulders and those nice legs. They lifted weights to get that, folks, and they dieted too. That dance is a great way to lose weight and to get into shape, but it's not going to make you look great. And I think it's important that you look good and feel good, so you can do both. So we'll do another 20 here, and then we're going to finish up with a couple of an alternation here on my last group of sit-ups, and I know we will have done 1,000 sit-ups for you. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pull up our left here. I'm going to do 50 on this side. I always like to say about the people that do these exercise programs on TV, here's what you want to ask them is that if that's how they look so great, then I only want them to use that machine or do that exercise routine exclusively, just like they're telling you to do, for the next 5 years, and then I want to see what they look like. You know, let's see how the guy looks so great doing that Zumba dancing and stuff. Only do Zumba dancing for the next 5 years. And let's see how good you look. Well, you wouldn't. I also lift weights. I also do this. I also run. Yeah, I know. Well, why don't you tell those people that are buying that to think they're going to look like you? You know? Now, let me mention something to you about steroids. I don't take them. Nothing against them, you know. There's a guy that's real famous, this doctor that they show him a picture on the Cybergenics that looked so good at 70. He invented the steroid taking stuff. Yeah, he started a company selling this stuff. His partner started it too. His partner died. So you have to be careful when you take steroids. They're good for you, and I have nothing against them. And who knows, in 5 years from now, I might be taking some, but I don't take them now. And you don't need to take them if you eat right and exercise right. And I think there's 3 parts to an exercise program as you get older. You have to do resistance training. You have to lift weights. You have to have resistance training. You have to lift weights. And I do it 3 to 5 times a week. The second part is you have to do aerobic training, which you have to get your heart rate up. You can lift weights and not get your heart rate up, but you've got to lift weights. And then you've got to do aerobic training. I usually do 30 minutes of aerobic where I'll run or ride the bike or do an elliptical. You've got to do aerobic training too. So weightlifting is number 1, or resistance training. You can use stretch bands and stuff. There's number 2 is aerobic training, and number 3 is flexibility training. You've got to stay flexible. So many old people, so now we're going to finish it off like this. So many old people have oh, they're all hunched over and they're and they don't have any flexibility. They don't have any balance because they never stretch. I stretch 5-10 minutes a day. And I don't stretch as much as I used to, but I stay flexible. And it's real important as you get older to do your stretching every day. Stretch, stay flexible. And you have to eat right. And that's the fourth step. You got to eat right. You can't just eat vegetables, folks. I eat meat. I eat vegetables too. You have to eat a balanced diet, and you need to take supplements, vitamins and other supplements and stuff. Not steroids, but you need to take supplements. You know, the food is out there is good, but it's not healthy enough to not take supplements. I always take vitamins and vitamin E and some cod liver oil or fish oil or something like that. Take supplements and exercise every single day. Let's do another 20 here, and we're absolutely certain we will have done 1,000 crunches for you right here as I celebrate my 65th birthday and my 6 millionth sit-up. All right. Okay. So let's see here. Let me turn this camera up here for you. And let's see if we can take our shirt off here. There we go. So as you can see here, we got your stomach nice and tight in here. I can't see myself in here. And I like to finish it up with a little bit of a breathing exercise. Let me make this lift it up a little bit so you can see my handsome face too. And this is a breathing exercise that I do to help get my chi flowing. And then I always finish by punching myself in the stomach. So this is Ted Gambordella. I'm 65 years old, and I just did 1,000 sit-ups for you.